Hello gainers, Ralphie here on location. It's another mild and sunny day and I'm out and about making the most of it. Having a wee think to myself about a subject for discussing with you. This is Fitter Philosophy, and the whole concept is to provide a bit of philosophy to help us all getting a little bit fitter. Now, as a gym goer, I can assure you that we don't get fit overnight and we have to keep doing it to maintain our fitness. But the value is that over time we're rewarded for an investment in our own fitness, because without costing too much money, it really improves our quality of life because we're investing in our quality of life. And part of that fitness is getting to know ourselves a little bit better. And one of the very useful things that we can do, which I'm now going to discuss with you, is making a bit more time for ourselves. Now, this may seem a little bit superficial, a little bit unimportant even, because we all get time, don't we? We have some leisure time, we make time to visit places and meet people and socialise and pursue our hobbies and all the rest of it. But that's making some time, a sort of time for ourselves. But most importantly, it's the quality that we're looking for. And when we can only realise the quality of making time for ourselves when we invest in it. And rather like going to the gym, you know, we only get stronger through constant repetition, practice, and importantly, good form. So I'm going to give you some advice for making time for yourself, and it really kind of ties in with mindfulness or even some superficial meditation. Because ideally you want to be on your own, you want to be in a comfortable environment, whether you're in your own home or whether you're out in a park or even sitting in a cafe somewhere or a restaurant perhaps, that's not too formal and not too distracting. But it's simply take about 5, 10, 15 minutes just to centre yourself. To think about your day, think about what you've achieved, the people you've met, the problems you have, how to rationalise them and quantify them and put them in perspective. To address the white noise that surrounds us. A lot of it is imposed by society, you know, but a lot is actually generated by ourselves, unconsciously, because we're that busy doing stuff that we forget, because we're so wrapped up in it, we forget that the depth of engagement with ourselves can be compromised. So to make a little bit more time for ourselves, without distraction and interruption and disruption, is much more important than we care to realise, because it's only in this stage that we start to get important issues into focus. Issues like how are relationships going, what is our true purpose and ambitions in life, beyond the job, beyond the career, and beyond what society wants to impose upon us to make us fit in. We're surrounded by people who haven't made time for themselves and don't. And unfortunately, over time, and it doesn't happen suddenly, it takes time, but over time, people can become strangers to themselves and actually become disconnected from the value and quality of their own personal lives. Now, it's not a selfish thing. It's actually just getting more in tune and in touch with ourselves. And there's no special recipe. There's no magic number here. It is just patience, perseverance and persistence in self-reflection, in a comfortable environment, on our own, listening to our own voice. And what you will find at the end of the day, and I'll give you one classic example, is that you'll find that you notice more of what's happening in your body. You start to communicate and connect more strongly to what the body is telling the mind about how good it's feeling, how bad it's feeling. You're not waiting for a headache anymore. You're not waiting for signs of sickness and illness. Your body will tell you when it needs to rest. Your body will tell you when it needs to eat. Your body will tell you when it needs to drink, to be refreshed. And your body will tell you when you're feeling physically stressed, and that is impacting on your mental health. Not in a dramatic way, but in a little way happening all the time. And over time that really adds up. It may seem small, it may seem superficial, but making time for ourselves is hugely important. There's nothing greedy about it, nothing selfish about it. But when we do it, in whatever context we choose, because we know best for ourselves at the end of the day, we find that in the passage of time, we look back and we see just how much our quality of life has improved at virtually no cost by just taking back from the madding society and the world we live in a little bit of time for ourselves. Good luck, gainers. I wish you well with your journey. I shall leave you now with a very nice view